This won't be a field trip. It's the real thing. There's SUBNAUTICA Station. Goop flounders around in there. Nothing gets to you. Your eyes are opened. Gulpo ain't the easiest tongue, but I think he says he's happy to see a friendly face. Not too many of those around these days. Says it's good to see you again. He's Goop. You might remember him from the old days when he tried to teach you how to swim. Goop says you were always so righteous as a child, and he can still feel it, even at a distance. Goop says memories fade surprisingly fast. He knows he's easy to remember. There's no one out there as cuckoo as him. He's one of a kind. Goop says our memory keeps things for us and protects them until we are ready to face them again. He understands you've returned to face Lupa Lupin. That's the destiny you've been carrying within yourself all these years. He says that the catastrophe back then didn't vanquish the good in you. It's still there, as bright as when you were a child. Now the time has come for you to remember and act. He thinks that's the right thing to do. It's only when you have forgiven that you'll find peace.
Fan that flame!
Beat out that spark before it starts.
It was so young, so fragile, it had so much to give.
Better to take it down now while you still can.
Fire catches. Eventually.
Says life on the goo is wide open. You have so many choices of where to go. Some harder than others, of course. Which kind do you like? Best to stick close to the shore then, where the goo isn't so deep. That's like being close to your friends who can help when things go wrong. Figures the world is a goner. Even the goo will go gone. Thanks you for doing everything you could to de-goop the surf. Wonders why you're flapping around with the Jagni. They spend too much time nesting to do anything fun. Figures you must have met different Jagni than he has. But hey, back to the goo. Knows yesterday is already gone. It's what you do today and tomorrow that'll move you forward. You need to set the past aside, at least for now. He can't leave the Subnautica station, as the pollution has worn down the insulation of his suit. So you must salvage enough scrap to fix up his goo glide, starting with the old wreck box outside. You should return when you've retrieved the scrap. There's no time to waste if you want to make the goo glide strong enough to fight the Porky Puff. Out of Date told him the undersurf was the epicenter of the contamination. This was where it struck hardest and inflicted the biggest change to the ecosystem. Someone has to end this plague before it's too late. You move with such confidence. Just a few moves left. Make them count. All fired up. That's going to leave a mark. Nice and clear out today. A face-off. Sharp steel. Toxanol's offshore drilling caused oily matter to spread with the rain and contaminate both the groundwater and open surf. The long-lasting effect this had on the evolution of wildlife was, as we know now, the only reason we came to exist. Looks like the switches need to be turned to match so enough charge can flow through the conductors. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework. We are lonesome animals that spend all our life trying to be less lonesome. He's got the goo glide functional. You'll have a pull hook and a salvage net, but no armor, and an engine strong enough to break through the thick goo further out. There are lots of valuables left behind on the surf floor that the salvage net will enable you to haul. You just need to find the right spots. Goop says Gizmo's devised a cannon for the goo glide, but instead of bullets, it flips quacks, squeaky distractions for the triple attentive Porky puff, which will give you time to get yourself in position. The best way to find quacks is to talk to Gulp. He has the bearings of the SURFIPELAGO and knows where the quacks like to float. This means you'll have the privilege of visiting Gulp in the Sinky Dink. He'll be able to give you directions to where you'll find quacks. He only knows what's visible to the naked eye. Gulp is not much of a babbler and mostly keeps to himself and his drink. Nothing like light to brighten your day. Welcome to the Surfipelago, where the horizon rests on the surfy goo. You're poking around Porky, a prime village. This here is the Sinky Dink, home of Gulp, at the very least. Time to disembark. He's pretty sure he's heard of you before, although the details are maybe a little hazy. He wonders if you have something for him to drink. Says it's both everything you could want and never enough. Says you look like you've got a powerful thirst to do something in this world. Good, bad, not really sure, but it seems like you've been drinking in your destiny and liking the flavor. Wonders if you could take the time to help a man slake his own thirst. You'd be doing him a liquid solid. You're a do-gooder, so you know you want to. Either way, he hopes you find a way to wet your whistle before the world comes to an awful dry end and leaves us all thirsting for more. Says life's like a mystery drink. Sometimes it's amazing, and sometimes it's awful. But either way, you can't stop drinking till you're dead. Sure, that's the point. But you can't stop trying new ones, or life gets dull. Says you should toast the end of the world, but you'd better hurry. It's coming soon. Respects how you always try to help, no matter that the world's fate is hard to swallow. Thinks it's funny you... Guesses someone has to be, but he can't swallow the sight of it. But who cares about them? Says you'd be as bummed out as him if you came for the hot stuff. The glug-mocker, Nimhimbibble, and his favourite radium syrup. That one's even more intoxicating now, aged in truck tankers and all. Without a drink, and radium syrup especially, he can't move, much less think, as the power of his mind is directly proportioned to the quantity of syrup he swigs. That's why he's called Gulp. The drink helps him forget the state the world is in, but it only lasts until tomorrow. The world is still doomed, even if the sun goes up. It makes most dumber, but that's his special burden to bear. He wants you to know he has other interests too. He's the Surfipelago's self-proclaimed ornithologist, for example. There are other ways than a cold drink to relieve stress, even in these dark times, and, fortunately for you, he can help. Watching Pippi's flap is calming, but better yet are the ones you can look at and touch, like quacks. Squeezing them... Says he's not sure you can. Physically, that is. There's no squeeze in the world able to counteract his expansiveness. Being over the waves beats being beneath them. The Quack Hollow. It's just lonely. Life is a difficult game, no matter how you play it. Bullets everywhere. Your destiny waits on the path you'll take to avoid it. Careful where you point that. Disgusting. Biohazard. Just gross. Hand of Death. You need to line up the switches so they match. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework. wouldn't want to be behind that. Who wouldn't love this? This might be the end of everything as we know it. That's enough quacks to sustain the Googlide flipper with infinite ammunition. Goop says he was there when the Porky Puff took Out-of-Date's leg, so this World Eater has made it personal. After that, Out-of-Date started using his head instead of his legs and came up with the plan on how to best make a stand against the World Eaters, and it wasn't by foot. That's how he got tasked with rebuilding the Googlide. He seems happy to talk. Says you should take it easy. Even better for the goo. And you loved that ride already. It's the Porky Puff nibbling bark. It took quite a liking to the crunchy stuff after munching down out-of-date's leg. The boom ball and tow it beneath the puff. Unleash the quacks. Ain't that cute? The two-bit playing with quacks. brisk wind of change. Don't let this opportunity slide. He thanks you for dealing with the first World Eater. It's a start. You should go see Out of Date and find out what you can about the machine he's named the Ark. You're good-hearted enough, so you'll have no problem getting him to share the information with you. He trusts you know where to find Out of Date by now. He's always been at the foot of the tree, and that hasn't changed.